Hi, welcome. So we're going to do a reading just kind of dedicated to this full moon that's happening today on, what is it, April 12th. Usually I do these a day or two ahead, but it's been quite a week, a full week. And so we're doing it today because we know full moon energy lasts before and after the peak. So this will be good for the next few days to tap into this big energy. And then obviously it's timeless also. So whatever resonates with you, take it and leave the rest, or think about it at some point in the future. So what we're going to do is use a few things I brought home from my studio today. So this is a new deck called, what is it? Earth Mother's Oracle. Earth Mother's Oracle. So we're going to set aside a little message for at the end. And then we have the Mystic Forest Oracle cards. So this pink moon, as they call it, is it a Libra? Full moon in Libra? I'm still learning my astrology, but I have a feeling full moons are about maybe it's time to illuminate the forces, the energies in our life that are working under the surface, that we feel like we want to bring them up to the surface to move them out, like thank them, they've been useful, but now they can move on and do another job for somebody else, or for us it's another time. So we have rejuvenate yourself, know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself. You have full permission to rest and say no. Ooh. So I wonder, given what we just talked about, if we're going to see a message here about letting go of some self-limiting beliefs, so some limitations, and by doing that we rejuvenate ourselves. So let's see what is going to come in. Thank you for being here. So we have the Tower, the High Priestess. Sorry, I have a new deck here and I have to make sure I get the numbers right because I don't memorize numbers. Yes, High Priestess. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the King of Swords. All right. We have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Two of Pentacles. Whoops. I didn't want that one. I'm going to start over. Everything felt wrong about that, and I think it's because I didn't shuffle them enough from a prior reading. It's like we got almost all the same cards. So when I feel that it doesn't feel right, let's start over. And maybe it just means I'm not supposed to use this deck, but we'll give it one more chance. One more chance. Okay. We've got the the Lovers. See, I don't know numbers. The Lovers. And this imagery doesn't really reflect that. We've got the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords with an overall energy of, ooh, is this Judgment? Yes. Okay. That does give me a sense of surrender, this card. So that's a release energy coming in right at the overall. So let me pull. I just jumped in. I just came in hot today. I was like, sit down, start. And I didn't really see, can you even see these cards? So this is Judgment. So there is a sense of surrender here, like awakening to our true selves, being rejuvenated to our true selves by releasing what no longer helps us in our lives. And then we have the Lovers, Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So there's something about, let's feel into this, because there is a little bit of energy calling us to, there's like a slowness here, a pausing kind of energy to reflect and have patience in order to strategize something, like, what do you really want? And be a little bit planful and strategic about it. But it's like something that's time to illuminate. We've got that Seven of Swords. It's a little tricky energy. It's like things aren't what they seem on the surface. Dig deeper. And we do that by going slowly, reflecting on different perspectives. That's interesting. And right out of the gate, we have the Lovers. So it's coming into connection probably with ourselves. That's what this whole thing is about. The Lover, this doesn't feel like a romantic love reading, but if it ends up that way, take it as it resonates for you, because what I've been finding is all of these readings have little nuggets for different people, perhaps. So the six, which is the Lover's card, feels like this coming back into connection through surrender overall, but coming into connection with what you value. And that might mean considering your perspective on things, like, oh, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I want to manifest, perhaps, if it's that kind of energy. But I need to slow down and have patience a little bit to let that come to the surface in its fullness. And then we have like that, well, what am I going to do now? How do I strategize to bring that into my life? So we're going to swipe this away. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So that's kind of the overall energy. And then I'm going to pull out the Zodiac Tarot, because I like to use these for the full moons and new moon readings, because it's moonish. It's moon energy. It's the lunar cycles. It's astrology. And so let's just do we're not going to do a big old spread, but I do want to get, Death. Transformation coming in. Well, the overall being Judgment, it's no surprise. I mean, Death is here to help us. The Ten of Swords, we are releasing something for some big healing moment. We've got the Seven of Pentacles again, coming in from the overall straight into here's what it's about. Slowing down a little. We got Judgment again. Okay, everything's in alignment. This is a very cohesive reading. And then right here, there's something, we're going to find out what this transformation is through we've been through something's coming to an end. There's a completion energy here about we desire to leave something behind. So that's a good thing. When you have the desire, there is the commitment showing up here, and then a full surrender. Oh my God, that's what I always talk about. That's weird. This is the tripod in action. The tripod of transformation, as I called it a few months back in a voice journal, I think, in a blog post. It was a cheesy title, but I like alliteration. The tripod of transformation is, there's a desire. You've gone through something and you realize, wow, this energy's been working in my life in a certain way, and I'm ready to let go of it. I don't want it anymore. So there's that desire, that want or not want. I want to leave it behind. The commitment is the Seven of Pentacles. Like, I'm committed to this journey, to this path I'm on. I have to have patience, but I'm committed. And then Judgment is the surrender piece. Like, okay, universe, I have the desire, I have the commitment, and now it's in your hands. I don't care what it looks like. Make it so. So literally, that's the tripod of transformation piece. And here's the transformation, and these are the three pillars: desire, commitment, surrender. I am ecstatic because I've been talking about this and now it's right here in my face. So I don't know, I'm happy. I'm not going to pull an overall energy for this because these are already big. It's like we don't even need one. It is Judgment. Okay. I've been into this little reverse triangle spread lately. It really whoosh, brings things to a point pretty quickly. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Two of Wands, ooh-wee, the Nine of Pentacles. I love this. Okay. So if we think about, I just love this. Like, these two come to this, these two come to this, these two come to this. So everything is very intertwined, which is, I think, why I like this spread. I don't know if I've seen somebody do it before. I'm sure they have. There's nothing new under the sun. So there's the transformation and this energy of, it's going to happen because I'm leaving something behind. I'm ready. There's the readiness for it, the desire. The Knight of Swords is the one saying, well, act on that inspiration, act on that desire, that knowing, the swords tying back to the 10 of swords, which are all the wounds, all the reasons why we're desiring this transformation. This is saying take an action, move toward the reason, like face it head on, like, yes, these are the reasons in my life why I want to let go, and this is the knight that says I'm going to take action on those reasons. Okay, and he's not scared, he's actually pretty inspired for the journey. Then right here with this day of healing ahead, like there's this idea that this person who's about at death's door from all these wounds is looking out at a new day dawning, and that's that day of healing coming. And the Seven of Pentacles being that patience, like I'm committed to the journey, feeds right into this Two of Wands, which says, I can't believe this story has emerged like this. Like the Two of Wands says, like I desire, like the wand energy of like acting on this. The world's at stake. Like I can have the world, I can grow from this. I can see something come to fruition if I act on this. I do have to have patience. I have to be committed to this journey. And the Two of Wands is looking out there going, can I do it? It's being called out of your comfort zone to do this healing. But you desire and you're committed. And this is that little bit of a threshold step. Like you're not quite standing at the threshold, but you're being called to the threshold. You're being called to take the Knight of Swords energy and figure out, okay, well, what would I do? How do I tackle this? How do I like take all the wounds and turn it into like an opening, like a rejuvenation? Well, that is usually some form of like shadow work, right? Or inner child healing. So it does take some vulnerability, keeps coming to me. Like it's not going to look, it has to be different than you've done anything else in your life. Literally, in order to break something open, it has to have friction with the way your life has always been led, right? It can't just be more of the same, because then you'll get more of the same. It has to be different. So it means a little bit of using your intuition too. Like if I could do like, what's my normal way of, what's my normal personality? Like, okay, maybe I'm a little like reserved or rigid or whatever. Well, like break open, do a weird dance, like do something out of the norm, surprise yourself to just get that energy flowing that's different than your go-to kind of way of being in the world. So, but then there's lots of stuff out there about shadow work and inner child work. So there's no shortage of resources. If you just do a little YouTube search, you're going to like resonate with certain things. Other things you won't. Okay. So it's like, but if you're familiar with all that already, you probably have a deep intuition of what the Knight of Swords energy is. Like, what step do I need to take? Maybe I need to go into a protective bubble and drown out the noise of my family, my friends, and say, this is me time. I need to create a vision board. I need to do some journaling. I need to get out some crafts and just play. Whatever that opposite energy is, like, it's calling to you. So then we have the Seven of Pentacles with Judgment or surrender kind of coming down into Nine of Pentacles. So the 7 is growing to a 9, which is we've reached this state by now of like complete acceptance. So I think of the 9 of Pentacles and Judgment very similar in that way of coming into acceptance for all that is. By accepting ourselves first, we can accept other people. We can accept our circumstances. We can see it in a different light. And I was just talking with a certain someone about this, aka my husband, about what acceptance means. And in his mind, he went straight, because he doesn't understand this world. That's why isn't he precious? I just love him. But he is open, so he like tolerates me talking about it, and like it hurts a little bit, like mentally, but he comes along with me, which is beautiful. So we were talking about this idea of acceptance, and his mind went straight to apathy. Well, that's not an answer either. We can't just accept everything, and I'm like, he didn't say apathy, but I'm like, well, no, it's different than apathy. He's like, yeah, that's the word. I'm like, it's different than that. It's recognizing that any problem I have is in here. It's my perception. You have, like we were talking about that, certain things he has a problem with that don't affect me. Certain things I have a problem with that he doesn't recognize as a problem. It's perception, right? So we talked about like coming into acceptance for certain things. Like if I just pause my frustration and be like, I could choose to see this a different way. And over time and practice, you actually can come into like, oh my God, that's not a problem at all. I've healed whatever it is, whatever trigger, shadow work, and then I come into acceptance. But first, I feel like a lot of times it has to come into acceptance of the self, show ourselves self-love. That seems like it's showing up here because of this rejuvenate yourself. Like it's time to focus on you and show yourself some self-love. And we have this Nine of Pentacles. This person is like in her garden with her bird, and she's like, I love my garden, and I'm gonna give myself permission to spend some time here and just have gratitude for what I have, gratitude for me, like just like, oh. So there's something about that coming in here. And Jelly Bean is over there scratching at the door, so sorry if it's annoying. I could choose acceptance, or I could let him in. Okay, I'm gonna let him in. And we're back. And he's a cute little baby. But he's a little weird today. He's like kind of like, I don't know what I want. I'm gonna go here and bother you. I'm gonna go here and bother you, but I really don't know what I want. And then later he'll get sleepy and he'll be like, pet me. I love him. Okay, so now we're gonna come down into the next layer here. And hopefully you can still see this. Again, I don't know if you heard me in a different video, but my overhead cam took a and so I had to rig up this little cheap webcam, and it's like, I don't know, some ways I like it better, and some ways it's hard because I have less space. I'll figure it out. So we're coming down, we have the World, and we have the Ace of Cups. So if we think about this story that's building, this Knight of Swords is saying take an action, and it's funny because now it's, oh my God, it is related. So I'm looking like this person's laying this way, and if this is me taking action on those wounds, and what we talked about, it needs like an opposite action to like break free. This Knight's actually going the opposite direction. So isn't that kind of funny? Little synchronicity. And then coming down here, the Two of Wands is like being called out. What's funny is she has the World in her hand, and we talked about that, the chills. And then we get the World card, like you have the potential and the opportunity to like, oh, I was feeling this earlier today. I'm like having so much gratitude that I did the Seven of Pentacles a lot in the last 3 years, and especially a lot in the last 6 months, but really persevered through all the ups and downs of this spiritual journey, spiritual awakening journey. And it's like, it's hard work. And yet something told me like, there's no going back. I had like an Eight of Cups moment over and over again, which is like, I'm moving on. There's no, I could go back to sleep, and I could just have a really satisfying life. I really could. But this would not let me be satisfied. Like, I knew there was more. Like, this wasn't satisfied. And so I had to drop down into here to understand, like, why am I not satisfied? I'm bringing it up probably because of the Nine of Pentacles. It's this card of like achieving that satisfaction. And so I'm like, every day, it was agonizing some days. Like, what is happening? What is this path I'm on? Like, it's so confusing. And like, some days I just want to go back to my distractions and my self-limiting beliefs and self-limiting behaviors and seek comfort there. And you know what? It's never comforting for long. I just knew I was kept distracting from what I was really meant to be doing, which was like healing. And so anyway, I just share that because I understand from my limited perspective how agonizing that journey can be, to go between extremes of like, oh yay, and then it's like, daily life, is rough, and I just wanting the good stuff, and then the more I want the good stuff, the farther away it seems, and then I'm like, what am I missing? Like, kind of like stumbling around in the dark. Thank God for YouTube. Again, the people, I guess that's why I'm bringing it up, the people I resonated with, I think helped shine a light in the dark. And thank God, because this is the story that I went through, that I've come to learn a lot of people go through. So this is like literally this spiritual awakening journey too, not just achieving some transformation, but it's like ego death journey. Like, we have death cards showing up here. It's the ego death through our emotional wounds, that we need to heal, because our emotional wounds are our triggers, and they like keep us in judgment of other people, of ourselves. And it's like, I can't believe this story. So the world's at stake. It's like, I'm not settling for less. So at some point on this path, it's funny because I'm getting to it late in life. I mean, late 40s by the time, mid 40s by the time I realized what was happening and what I was committing to. And then there's just like this feeling that there is a lot at stake. Like, this is the lifetime I'm meant to wake up to my true nature. I don't know what I did in prior lifetimes. I've been reflecting on that a lot. A lot's been coming through about my past lives. I can't wait to do a little video on it, because it's just fun to think about. And then the world, like, I'm ready to complete my journey. And I wonder if like that's like what, the spiritual journey is like coming full circle. I'm the Fool's journey. There's the Fool setting out at card 0, and then we end at the World, card 21. We go through transformation through this life journey. And so it's like we don't want anything less than that. The world's at stake. Get uncomfortable, be called out of the comfort zone, and just know there's support out there to help shine lights through the darkness, and I guess that's why I feel called to do these things, because hopefully there's like a little whisper, like, you can do it. And then little clues, because everybody's journey is different. That's why you can't be prescriptive about it. Well, I did this and that's going to work for you, and then I did this and that's really going to work for you. That's not how it works. That's not anything how like it works. So anyway, it's you feeling your way through that dark with like little glimpses way off in the distance. Somebody's holding a lantern going, this might be your way too. But then it's for you to feel through and be like, oh yeah, I guess that feels right. But no, I'm going to go this way. But thanks, you helped me get this far. It's kind of like that. So then we have the Ace of Cups, which is coming down from the Two of Wands. Let's get uncomfortable, being called out there. I'm not settling for less anymore. And then I'm coming into acceptance of myself, self-love, like, inner child work. And then by doing that work, these 7 of Pentacles, the energy starts to speed up again, like a belief, like it builds a belief. Like, well, at least that's how it was on my journey too, I guess, is every little Knight of Swords step I took, it like fed into the belief that, oh, I could do it. It's like integration. It's literally the journey of integrating these like the spiritual experiences that you sometimes can have through working on shadow work. And then it's like, oh, I healed a little bit. And then that built a belief in me that I can keep going. And then the next thing comes to heal, and it builds in a little more belief. And it's like this engine, but it takes this first step and belief that you can do it, and then more. That's why I feel like that tripod of transformation is like, Jelly Bean, come here. I'm sorry I had to ignore you. Please, come here. I love you. It's like that desire, and you're committed, and you surrender, and then over and over, rinse and repeat for however long it takes, because you're committed. and to seeing it through to the world, the completion of it. And it's never completed by a spoiler alert. It's never done. And then the Ace of Cups is that complete, just that emotional fulfillment, that just growth. It's like the emotional growth that happens that you then spill out into the world. Like you heal yourself to heal the world, and then like at some point you've come all the way around. You've achieved. I don't even like that word. You've gone through this transformative thing, and it's still happening. And through it, you're just like, oh, it's like overflowing. It's a gift. This is the gift of an emotional growth. So anyway, heart opening. And then we end here with the Queen of Swords. I'm going to put her here. I'll show it to you, but you're not going to see it. You are, however, hearing this guy. See, he's in that mood where he's like, nothing makes me happy. He's totally not in acceptance. Hold on, I'll let him out. Okay, I'm back. He's already meowing on the other side of the door. It's one of those days. So we end here. We don't end, but the end of this particular story is the Queen of Swords, which is, it's beautiful. Look, she even has wings. It's like, which ties back to the wings on the Judgment card. It's so cool. But what it makes me think of is like through taking action. So Knights, like that divine masculine energy, brings about transformation by acting, taking like action out in the world. Whereas the divine feminine is about accepting, allowing things to come to her to manifest. So they go about manifestation or transformation in a different way. Oops, that flew up my nose. So the Queen of Swords, so we've gone through this journey of like by taking an outward action, we achieve this emotional, like we receive the gifts. And so it's this, again, it's an engine. And I just love that we got the Knight of Swords and came into the Queen of Swords, which is us, like queens are water. And then we have that like the sword of the Judgment card that we usually see, like this, like, I've achieved, and again, not achieved, but I've gained something through this journey, and I've gained my inner confidence that I can keep going. So it's, again, it's this engine, I swear. And the Queen of Swords has this ability to have the clarity gained from the transformation and the ability to speak her truth. She's a truth speaker, a truth seeker. But she acts from the heart. So it's like she is the embodiment of heart-mind coherence, which is what this journey is about. We've gone from the mind, the swords, all those wounds that we do, like those self-limiting beliefs, the things we do to ourselves our whole life because we haven't healed our triggers, our old wounds. And then we come in through this journey, ending with this Ace of Cups, which is the heart space. So we've come from here to here, and what emerges? Right here in the center, the throat chakra, right? So it's like we're able to grow and transform by being able to seek and speak our truth. Like the Judgment is your truth, coming to acceptance for who you are, your authenticity. This is you stepping in, you realizing who you are, stepping into your authenticity, coming home to yourself. So this whole journey is beautiful. And I wonder if there's something about, I keep hearing like with this April is such a big month energetically and zodiacally, astrology wise, which I don't know much about, but I feel it. I felt the energy coming out of March into April was like, whoa, totally different. And this full moon, we're going to go through that. Like whatever you are feeling to release, feel into it even more, because it's going to lead through this journey. I can't believe this emerged today. It's amazing. So yeah, this is your time to rejuvenate yourself by maybe going into your protective bubble, drowning out the outside noise, and do the inner work. And again, there's a million resources out there. So this card says 29, adaptation, Nayoka. So we'll see what this has to say. 29. I'm just telling you right now, I ate some hummus for lunch with these these little pita crackers. They're called everything. So they're like an everything bagel. They have little seeds and little toasted garlic stuff on it. I have garlic bread like you would not believe. And I'm about ready to go to an event in a group of people, and I'm going to have to go brush my teeth 5 times. Adaptation. This is a time to adapt to the changes around and within you. Release any feelings of anxiety around change and replace them with flexibility and acceptance. Nyoka, the reptile earth mother, is the guardian of all reptiles. Oh yeah, she does have some reptiles. Oh, they're all reptiles. I didn't even see that. It's so beautiful. Reptiles have been a part of this earth for a long time, and over time they have evolved with the planet's changes and adapted to many different environments and lifestyles. Some initially adapted from living in water to living on land. Many reptiles still have a masterful ability to adapt, camouflage, and change their colors, regulate their body temperatures in harsh weather conditions, and catch food in various environments. Lizards can dispose of and replace their tail when faced with a predator. Desert-dwelling reptiles thrive in dry heat due to thermoregulation. They change skin color and time their daily activities to the orientation of the sun and changes in the seasons. When Nyoka appears in your reading, she gently reminds you that adaptability is integral to dealing with change. This whole thing's been like the death cards here. Transformation. Change is a constant in our lives. It is how we progress in our human and soul evolution. Sometimes we fear the prospect of something changing as we fear the unknown and uncomfortable. But if we can adapt as needed, we build more resilience and suffer less anxiety. If you have an aversion to adapting and refuse to be a part of an inevitable change, this can become an unhealthy habit of being inflexible and rigid in many areas of your life. Look at change as a force for good. It will aid your progress and enable you to transcend self-limiting ideas. We talked about that right out of the gate, that I feel like that's what this full moon is about. This says, know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself. You have full permission to rest and say no. Like, know your limits, and then it's like that honesty that the Queen of Swords has. Like, I've had to be honest with my limits. I need so much sleep nowadays. That's just a basic example. And then anything beyond that is self-limiting. Like, then I can release. If I'm honest with my true limits, then I know that anything else that is a thought that squishes me down lower than that, then I know, wait a minute, I'm self-limiting. You know what I mean? It's not true. So there's something about that. A little bit of paradox there, which I love. I'm going to say it again. It will aid your progress and enable you to transcend self-limiting ideas. Color your scales, grow a beautiful new tail, and adapt to the wondrous possibilities change can bring. Affirmation. I embrace change with love and acceptance. That's what we said. I know I can adapt to any challenge that life brings me, and each time I do, I am furthering the fulfillment of my soul's journey. That's what we talked about. This is the soul's journey. It's bigger than just a one-off reading. This is I want to create a poster of this and be the soul's journey. It's so funny that came in with this full moon in Libra, pink moon reading. It's people are saying with the pink moon, it brings in this tenderness to take care of yourself, and maybe that's why this rejuvenate yourself came through. It's calling for us to treat ourselves with love, because if we don't accept ourselves, this becomes really hard. It's calling us into acceptance and into taking care of ourselves, being honest with our limits so we can transcend them. I'm getting all the chills. I'm just going to leave it at that because I got to brush my teeth and deal with this cat. Happy full moon. Bye.